What's going on, guys? 11 Epic Noob here. And, some stuff came. Hooray! I, sent my mom out to get some, pre-release kit for the newest set. Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. This came in the mail today. Well, technically a while ago, but yeah, let's not get into semantics. Let's open this up first. What I bought was the Secret Lair Stranger Things crossover, which I actually found cool. Let's open it. Very nice, alternative coloring for this little card holding bit. Our, secret card, to no one's surprise, is Hawkins National Laboratory. Add a colorless, or for 4 mana, investigate. At the beginning of your end step, if you sacrifice 3 or more clues this turn, transform it into the upside down. Hold on. Let me open this real quick. When this land transforms into the upside down, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. When the creature put onto the battlefield with the upside down leaves the battlefield, it transforms back to the lab. And tap pay 1 life to add a black mana. Actually surprised this is a non-foil promo, which I actually like a lot. Now let's get the Secret Lair cards out. You got Mind Flayer, the Shadow. Legendary enchantment creature Horror. Mind Flayer, the Shadow isn't a creature unless you control 3 or more permanents you don't own. At the beginning of your end step, exile the bottom card of each opponent's library face down. For as long as those cards remain exiled, you may look at them, you may cast permanent spells from among them, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast down the spells. And, little interesting tidbit. Mind Flayer's, backside is actually upside down. So if you wanted it this right side up, the card would be upside down. Neat. And here we have the characters. Chief Jim Hopper, for 2 red and white, legendary human soldier, menace. Whenever he attacks, investigate once for each non-token attacking creature. And Friends Forever, which is this Secret Lair's version of Partner. We got Dustin, Gadget Genius. 2 white and a blue for legendary human. Add 2 colorless. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. Friends Forever. 11. The Mage. Your maximum hand size is 11. Oh, I forgot to say legendary creature, human wizard for 1. A blue, black, and red. Max hand size is 11. Whenever 11 the mage attacks, you draw a card and lose 1 life. And if you have 11 or more cards in hand, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. Friends Forever. Lucas, the Sharpshooter. For blue and red, legendary human, 1/3. I should have been saying each one's power and toughness. 9-9, 3-5, 2-3, and 4-4. Lucas is a 1-3. Tap second artifact. Lucas, the sharpshooter, deals 1 damage to target creature, and it gets goaded. And then go that creature. So basically, the goaded creature must attack anyone but you, which is nice. We have Max the Daredevil for 1 red and green, for a 3-2 with haste, legendary human. All of the characters are humans. That's weird. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, untap target creature, then investigate. All the humans have friends forever. That'll be given. Mike the Dungeon Master. 1 green and white for a 2-2 legendary human. To untap, choose target creature in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Return it to the battlefield tapped, which is nice. Then Will the Wise for a white and black for a legendary human. Fun fact, he is the only human with black in his mana cost. He is a 1-2. Whenever he enters or leaves the battlefield, each opponent may investigate. Each opponent who doesn't loses 1 life. Investigate X times, where X is 1 plus the number of opponents who investigated this way. Then we got our clue token. The wall. So that was the Secret Lair, which I actually have some plans for the future of it. I actually plan on making, hopefully, a Vorthos deck with Mike and D11 as the Friends Forever your partners. Now let's get on to the meat and potatoes of this thing, of this vid. My mom got 2. I'm only opening 1. The other will be for me dad. Let's get this opened. Nice box art. We got a black spin down with the set symbol. Nice. Yada yada yada. Junk. Oh! That's insane. Our promo is Tezzeret. Betrayer of Flesh. I am mixed on what to do with this one. This promo. But let's get this open. I'll not be showing the code card. Except the back of it. Free to play, yada yada yada. We got 3 of these writing cards. We got Tezzeret, Betrayer of Flesh. Legendary Planeswalker Tezzeret for 2 and 2 blue. Starts with 4 loyalty. Draw plus first activated ability of an artifact to activate each turn costs 2 less to activate, which is honestly really good. +1, draw 2, then discard 2 unless you discard an artifact. -2, target artifact becomes an artifact creature. If it isn't a vehicle, it has base target artifact. Oh, because yeah, vehicles exist. Yeah. If it isn't a vehicle, it becomes a vanilla 4/4 or whatever it is. Then -6, you get an emblem with whenever an artifact you control becomes tapped to draw a card. That is honestly a very good promo. I might be building a blue deck with it. I got the 6 packs off to the side, and let us begin opening. Got Iron Apprentice, 1/1, or a 0/0 for 1. Enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. If it dies, if it had counters on it, you basically move those counters. That's okay. Lucky Offering, destroy target artifact with mana value 3 or less, gain 3. Scrapyard Steelbreaker, 1 sack another artifact to give it +2/+1. Costs 3 in a red. Artifact creature human warrior. Ooh. Chain Flail Centipede. Here's our first look into Reconfigure. Yeah, basically Reconfigure is sort of like Equip, but it's also a creature, which is honestly cool. For 2 and a black, we get a 2/2 Equipment Insect. Whenever it or equipped creature attacks, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. That's really good. Season of Renewal, choose one or both. Return a creature from graveyard to hand or enchantment to hand. Planar Incision. Exile target artifact or creature, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. That'll be good for our artifact deck. Tamiyo's Completion. 3 and a blue for an enchantment aura, flash, enchant artifact creature, or planeswalker. ETB, tap enchanted permanent. If it's an equipment, unattach it, and it basically becomes nothing. And is permanently tapped down. Ooh. Ukotai Ambusher, artifact creature, Rat Ninja. 3/2 for 3 and a black, or Ninjutsu for 1 in black with lifelink. Befriending the Moths. First 2 chapters, target creature you control gets a +1/+1 and flying until end of turn. Then chapter 3, exile and transform it into an Imperial Moth, which is a 2/4 with flying. Let's fix this up. Futurist Operative, that's actually useful for ninja decks. As long as it's tapped, it becomes an unblockable 1/1, and you can pay 2 and a blue to untap it. 3/4 for 3 and a blue, not bad. That's our first uncommon. Anchor to Reality, as a 2 blue, as an additional cost to cast this creature, sack an artifact or creature. Search your library for an equipment or vehicle, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. If it has mana value 2 or less, then the sacrifice permanent's value. Mana value scry 2. Got Walking Skyscraper. Trample, hexproof as long as it's untapped. 1 less for each modified creature you control. Not bad. Invoke Calamity is our rare. May cast up to 2 instants and or sorceries with total mana value 6 or less from the bin or hand without paying their cost. But then they get exiled once cast, and this will get exiled as well. We got our first. Holy shit. The Mecha Titan Core Foil. That's good for for a vehicle stack. 2 mana, 2/4 with crew 2. Not bad. 5, exile it and 4 other artifact creatures and or vehicles you control to create a 10/10 legendary construct artifact with a lot of keywords. That is also all 5 colors. Return all of cards exiled with it, except this, that were exiled this way back onto the battlefield tapped when the token leaves the battlefield. That is honestly sick rare. Ooh, we got our first look at one of these full art planes, which are really beautiful. And we got our first token, Spirit Token. So far, our artifact deck is looking pretty sick. An Apprentice, Scene, Aki Ember, Keeper. Whenever non-token mod creature control dies, make a colorless spirit. You're already dead. Destroy a creature that was already dealt damage, and then draw a card. So, decent cantrip. Tamiyo's Safekeeping. Target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Gain 2 life for a single green. Not bad. I got the crab! I got the crab! Woo! Anyways. 7 mana. 5 and 2 blue for a 5/7 with Ward 3 or Channel, which basically means pay the cost and then discard it to get benefits. In this case, counter a spell or ability unless its controller pays 3. That is going into a separate pile off to the side because crabs are awesome. Actually, I'll put it there. Golden Tail Disciple, Fox Monk with lifelink, enchantment creature, Jukai Preserver, Thorn of Green, ETB with counter on target creature you control, or discard it and put a counter on 2 creatures you control, I should note. Inkrise Infiltrator. 1 and a black for a 1/2 with flying. Surprised it doesn't have ninjutsu. ETB +2/+. You're 3 and a black. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Not bad. Sky Swimmer Koi. Flying Fish. A 3/3 for 3 and a blue. With flying, whenever an artifact enters under your control, you may loot 1, which is basically draw 1, discard 1. Befriending the Maws we've seen. Ooh, our first legendary creature, Heiko Yamazaki. Legendary creature, human samurai with trample. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, you may cast target artifact from the bin this turn. That's pretty good for our, in case of actually, that combos with Mirror Shell Crab a bit. You can channel it, then you can play it later on. That's our first uncommon. Acquisition Octopus. Whenever it deals damage to a player, it or equipped creature deals damage to a player, draw a card. Reconfigure 2. Yep. Secluded Courtyard, choose a creature type. Add a colorless or add 1 mana of any color to cast a creature spell of the chosen type, or activate an ability of a creature or creature card of the chosen type. So basically, let's say I name Crab, for example. I could tap it for blue for the channel ability. That's actually a pretty sweet commander staple. Invoke Despair. Nice. Target opponent sacks a creature. If they can't, they lose 2 and you draw a card. Repeat this for an enchantment and planeswalker. Not bad. Not a bad rare. Then we get Bloodfell Caves. The game lands are back, by the way. And we get another spirit token. Let's put the crabs here, because crab. Thundersteel Colossus, a 7/7 for 7 with Trample, Haste, and Crew 2. That's it. So we could minus to our Tezzeret to basically get a very good attacker. Ambitious Assault, instant, +2/+2, until end of turn. If you control modified creature, draw a card, not bad. Lethal Exploit, target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. An additional -1/-1 until end of turn for each modified creature you controlled as you cast it. Favor of Jukai, enchant artifact or creature. Once it's a enchanted permanent is a creature, +3/+3 and reach. Channel, discard to give it the effect until end of turn. Disruption Protocol. Tap an untapped artifact you control or pay one to counter a spell. That is actually going to be lovely for me artifact deck. I'll put it with the commons. Repel the Vial. So target enchantment or a creature with power 4 or greater. Imperial Subduer. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, tap a creature you don't control. Moon Circuit Hacker, ninjutsu for a blue, 2/1 for 1 in the blue. Whenever it deals damage, you may draw, loot 1, but if it entered the battlefield this turn, you just draw a card without discarding. Fall of Lord Konda. Gains control of all permanents they own. For Chapter 2, exile target creature with 4 or value 4 or greater. To gain control of all permanents they own. Exile the Saga and turn it to Fragment of Konda, a 1/3 defender with whenever it dies, draw a card. That's mediocre. It's an enchantment creature, human noble. Our first shrine. Go Shintai of Shared Purpose. Oh wait, that's an uncommon. Hold on. 1/3 for 4 with Vigilance, and at the beginning of your end step, you may pay 1 and make a 1/1 spirit. Make a spirit token for each shrine you control, which is nice. Banishing Slash, destroy up to 1 artifact, enchantment, or tapped creature. Then, if you control both an artifact and enchantment, create a samurai token with Vigil. A 2/2 samurai token with Vig. Izumi Prowler. ETB, target creature you control gains Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. And its ninjutsu cost is the same as its casting cost. I already saw that it's not of use. Our rare is a legendary. Tameshi, Reality Architect. When a more non-creature permanents are returned to hand, draw a card. Triggers only once per turn. X, white, return a land to its owner's hand. To return an artifact or enchantment with mana value X or less from the graveyard. Activate at sorcery speed. Oh! We got the third invoke! We got a third invoke! What the heck? Invoke Justice! Return target permanent from the graveyard to the battlefield and distribute 4 +1/+1 counters among any number of creatures and or vehicles target player controls. That's our second foil. And then regular forest. Aki Warpaint. As long as enchanted permanent's a creature, +2/+1. and it enchants an artifact or creature. Useful for the reconfigure. I'm gonna have to speed this up. Target creature or vehicle becomes a 4 creature with base, becomes an artifact with a 4/5 artifact creature. Draw a card. Not bad. Lucky Offering, seen. Scrapyard Steelbreaker, seen. Chainflow Centipede, seen. I think we've seen Izumi Blade Master. Death Touch as long as you have an artifact. Menace as long as you control enchantment. Both if you have both. Air of Ancient Fang. +1/+1 counter if on it if you control a modified creature. Cameo's Completion we've seen. Modern Age. First 2, draw a card, discard a card. Flip it over to a Vector Glider. A 2/3 with flying. Not a bad little evasion creature. Circuit Mender. If you remember Filigree Familiar, it's basically that, but better. Because Filigree Familiar requires death. This does not. So this is like a strictly better version. Gain 2 on ETB, draw a card when it leaves. When we were young, up to 2 target creatures get +2/+2 until end of turn. If you control artifacts and enchantment, they also gain lifelink. Not bad. Raito Sentinel. Defender, ETB, target player Millstreet, and for 3 target, put a card from a graveyard onto the bottom of its owner's library. Our token is the Mech Titan, which is very useful. We get Thornwood Falls as our land, which I'm just going to put with commons. And we get a full art mythic. Junji the Midnight Sky. 5/5 for 5. Legendary Spirit Dragon with Flying Menace. When it dies, choose either each opponent discards 2 and loses 2 life, or you put a non-dragon creature card from the graveyard onto the battlefield under your control and gain 2 life. That is honestly very good. We got 2 packs left. Put this with tokens off to the side. Glad we got the Mech Titan for our Mech Titan core. Scene. 3 to a creature or planeswalker. An additional 2 to their dome if you have a modified creature. Enchant an artifact or enchantment. As long as it's a creature, -1/-1 can't block. And enchanted permanent has at the beginning of your upkeep lose 1 life. Not bad. Let me get this token out of the way. Samurai, not bad. What's this? Ooh, Fancy Island. Geothermal Kami, ETB, return an enchantment you control to its owner's hand, gain 3. Futurist Sentinel, 6/6 for 4, and a 6/6 for 4, and it just has crew 3. Not bad. Useful. Wanderer's Intervention, 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Decent. Peerless Samurai, menace, and whenever Samurai or Warrior you control attacks alone, next spell cast this turn costs 1 less. Jukai Preserver, we've seen. Inkrise Infiltrator, we've seen. Kumeno faces Kakazan. Deal 1 to each opponent and each planeswalker they control. Creatures, when you cast your next creature spell this turn, ETB with a +1/+1 counter, so a modifier enabler, and exile this saga, and it becomes a Etching of Kumeno. Human Monk haste. For a creature dealt damage this turn by a source you control would die, exile it. Instead, Onicult and... Oh wait, that's an uncommon. On a cult and... Wait, what? What? I got... That's weird. I got 4 uncommons. Restoration of Iganjo. Search for a planes, reveal it. Then shuffle. Discard a card. When you do, return a permanent with value 2 or less from the bin to the board tapped. Exile this, then turn it face up into Architect of Restoration. 3/4 Fox Monk. Whenever it attacks or blocks, create a spirit token, and it has vigilance. Not a bad rare. But yeah, we got 4 uncommons, which I find weird. One Cult Anvil. Blah blah blah. Basically, when artifacts leave, make a construct token, only done once. Sack an artifact to ping an opponent and gain 1. Go Shintai, Flyer, 04, 1 in a blue. End step, pay 1. You can pay 1 to mill equal to shrine count. Solve with Samurai. Basically, whenever a Samurai or Warrior you control attacks alone, lifelink until end of turn, and sack it to give a creature indestructible. We're down to the last pack, and sorry if I'm rushing. I am slowly running out of time for this video, and I do not know how to edit. So far, my blue artifact theme seems to be going well. Scene. Destroy an artifact, put a counter on a creature. Each opponent discards a card. Channel, search for basic and put it, so basically fetches a land. Saiba Trespasser, channel, tap up to 2 target creatures you don't control. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. Moth Rider Patrol, flying, during a white to tap a creature. Mukotai Ambusher, ninjutsu for 1 in a black and has lifelink. Iron Hoof Boar, Trample Haze channel, and Trample Haze channel +3/+1 and gives trample until end of turn. Okiba Reckoner Raid, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life, does done twice. Turns into Nezumi Road Captain, Rat Rogue. Menace vehicles have menace. You control have menace. Discover the impossible. Look at top 5 cards for your library. Exile 1 face down. Put the rest on bottom. In random order, you may cast the exiled cost. You may cast the exiled card for free. Oh, without paying its cost if it's an instant spell with value 2 or less. If you don't, put it into your hand. Blaze Blizzard Kitsune, the only ninja in white. Ninjutsu Double Striker. Sokenzan Smelter, the beginning of combat. You may pay 1 and sack an artifact to make a 3/1 red construct with haste. Oh! We got the Wandering Emperor! Okay, sure. And we got a Gift of Wrath as our, as a foil. I'll put that with the foils. And Swiftwater Cliffs. Oh, and we get a 2/2 Spirit with Menace. Peace. So, I'm gonna pause the video, and I'll be back once I built my 40-card deck. Alright, I am back with a finished deck. I have decided to go with blue-black artifacts, and I'm gonna call it Tezzeret's Titan. We got 2 Iron Apprentices as our 1-drops. For 2 costers, we got the Virus Beetle. Of course, we had to put Mech Titan Core for the deck's namesake. After all, we did get the token for it. Planar Incision, Disruption Protocol, and Lethal Exploit. For our 3-drops, we got 2 Chain of Flail Centipedes, Discover the Impossible, Suit Up, Circuit Mender, Acquisition Octopus, and Raito Sentinel. For the 4-drops, we got 2 Mukotai Ambushers, Sky Swimmer Koi, Anchor to Reality, 2 Tamiyo's Completions, Futurist Sentinel, and Tezzeret. For the 5-drops, we got 3 cards, Invoke Despair, Junji the Midnight Sky, and the Saiba Trespassers. And for our 7-drops, we got 2 Thundersteel Colossi and Mirror Crab. I have no idea why Walking Skyscrapers in the deck. So yeah, the deck's plan is basically Artifact. Is to play lots of artifacts. We have 2 win cons with Tezzeret Betrayer of Flesh, with his ability of making artifact. Is this an etched? I have no idea what an etched foil feels like, so I have no idea if it's just my imagination. But basically, first ability of an artifact to activate costs 2 less. You can target an artifact to make it a 4/4, or activate a vehicle if you wish. So with Tezzeret, we are able to activate the, where is it? Mech Titan Core's 5-mana ability for 3 mana. Then if we get 4 artifact creatures, which we should, 4 artifact creatures or vehicles, we get our Mech Titan out. A 5-color keyword soup card token. And for artifact creatures, we got plenty with 2 Iron Apprentices, Virus Beetle, 2 Chain Flail Centipedes, Circuit Mender, Raito Sentinel, 2 Mukotai Ambushers, a Futurist Sentinel for a vehicle, Saiba Trespassers, 2 Thundersteel Colossuses, and a Mirror Crab. Those are all our artifacts that we can use for our core to, basically make a 10/10 keyword soup. That has been 11 Epic Noob with a good opening, surprisingly. Desi. And yeah, that's been 11 Epic Noob, being a derp as always. Signing off. I've never done a giveaway, so maybe I'll do one with this Love Your LGS Mind Stone. Fill focus. It's just a Mind Stone. Tap for colorless, 1 in sack, draw a card. That's all it is. So yeah, that's been it. I'll see you guys later at some point in the future.